It's NFL Wild Card Week, and we have a stack of matchups to break down for you over on the AFC side. And I have to bring in KDKA sports director, sports expert Bob Pompeani for his thoughts this week. Always great hanging out with you, Bob. Are you ready to pick some winners?
Let's go, Katie. This should be a great weekend. 6 games. This is a smorgasbord.
So many games to get to. Let's start with the Indianapolis Colts meeting the Buffalo Bills. And man, Josh Allen is on fire right now, but they're also meeting a pretty steady Colts defense. So who do you like for this game?
Well, I feel pressure. I'm sitting outside our news director's office, and she has ties to Indianapolis, so I should whisper this maybe, but I like the Bills big. I just think Josh Allen's operating on a totally different arc right now. When you look at his season, all his touchdown passes plus the rushing touchdowns, he's developed more and more confidence. I think he's got some great receivers. Stephon Diggs is going to be hard for Indianapolis to contain. Although, I will say this, Phillip Rivers is the veteran. He understands this. He hasn't won a lot in the postseason, Katie, but when you got Jonathan Taylor running the ball the way he's running the ball, coming off a 200-plus performance day, this could be trouble for Buffalo. They haven't had a lot of experience with this. Winning playoff spots 3 of the last 4 years has helped them. This is their first division title since 1995. I think it all looks like a Buffalo win.
And then up next, the Baltimore Ravens. They're in a little bit of a rematch with the Tennessee Titans. Given these two teams' history, I definitely feel like this is going to be one that really comes down to the wire, but who do you think is going to play on?
Yeah, rematch of last year when Baltimore thought they had an easy road, maybe to the Super Bowl, 14-2, bye week, and then boom, Tennessee comes in and they run the ball right down their throats with a good defensive performance against Lamar Jackson, who wasn't all that good in that game. So I expect Baltimore to be better. I expect Baltimore to win this game. They are a better team. Certainly Derrick Henry going over 2,000 yards is unique, but consider what Baltimore, they're the number 2 rushing team in the NFL, and Dobbs now has touchdowns in 6 straight games. So I think Baltimore has a lot of revenge on their mind. I think the Ravens will take down the Titans.
And finally, let's talk about a team you know very well, the Pittsburgh Steelers, hosting the Cleveland Browns. These two just played each other last week, but this game, of course, has a little more weight to it. So who are you going with?
Well, it's hard not to go with Pittsburgh just because of all the disturbances that have gone on in Cleveland with the COVID situations. Kevin Stefanski is not just the head coach, he's the play caller on offense. He's a guy who does a lot more than most head coaches do. So his absence is going to make it harder on Alex Van Pelt, who I suspect will call the plays. They got the special teams coach, Prefer as their head coach, or at least acting head coach. There's a lot of stuff there. Plus, they've lost Olivier Vernon. They've lost their best offensive lineman in Joel Bitonio. So I like Pittsburgh to win this game. I think all the pressure, however, is on the Steelers. Cleveland comes in with no expectations now. So I look for the Steelers to win this rather impressively, rather handily, and they will then go on to take on Buffalo based on how I see it.
And we're going to see how all this shakes out over the weekend. Bob, appreciate you so much for hanging out with me today and giving me all your analysis. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you, Katie. Have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. You too. I'm Katie Johnston for CBS Local Sports.